Evelyn Lozada's daughter has just been caught in the middle of the game's latest disappearing act, and let's just say Evelyn is far from calm. She is on the verge of erupting. This situation feels like the prelude to a blockbuster drama. For a while now, Shanice and the game had been making headlines with their relationship. At first glance, they seemed genuinely smitten. But anyone familiar with the game's romantic track record knows this is not his first vanishing act, and history suggests it likely will not be his last. The game has a reputation for drawing women in with charm and grand promises, only to vanish without warning, and sadly, Shanice became his latest casualty. But this situation has layers. Word on the street is that he opened up to her, painted a future they could build together, and then pulled a complete 180 when things started. Getting real. Here's where it takes a sharp turn. He did not just walk away like most people might. No closure, no explanation. He went full ghost mode. And if you know Evelyn Lozada, you know she is not the type to just watch from the sidelines. While Shanice was left to process the emotional wreckage, Evelyn wasted no time. The moment she caught wind of what happened, she jumped in head first. Because when it comes to protecting her children, Evelyn moves with fierce intention. This whole situation is wild, no doubt. Anyway, my message got cut off earlier. What I was really trying to say is, look, when you come across stories like this, it is important to take a step back. Take everything you read with a grain of salt. Reflect on who you are, what you value, and how you process information. Sometimes we get so caught up in the drama or our emotions that we forget to pause and think critically. So, even if something feels real or hits you deeply, take a moment to say, okay, let me look at this clearly. That feeling of, let me go to their page and tell them exactly how I feel. Yeah, we have all been there. But let us rewind for a second. When the game and Shanice first went public with their relationship, it stirred up a lot of chatter. Some folks immediately dismissed it, assuming Shanice was just another short chapter in the game's long history of flings. Others, though, genuinely believed it could be something real, maybe even love. Either way, the relationship had people, talking from day one, sparking opinions long before the drama unfolded. And honestly, who could really fault the critics? Given the game's history, skepticism was inevitable. His romance with Shanice seemed to ignite out of nowhere. One moment, he was all over her, and the next, he was back to living like a bachelor. At first, their appearances together at events and their cryptic social media posts made it seem like something meaningful was blooming. It had fans convinced that this might be more than just another short-lived spark. Then things really started to intensify. From Shanice's perspective, it felt like she was the one. His attention made her feel special, like she truly mattered. And the game? He turned on the full charm. Lavish gifts, candlelit dinners, flirtatious online shoutouts. He made sure everyone saw how into her he was. It was a performance of affection that drew even more attention to their relationship. Shanice went all in. Her energy, her smile, everything about her radiated happiness. It looked like she had found something real, something solid. But to those who had followed the game's previous patterns, it all seemed too familiar. He had a history of showering women with affection, building them up with promises, only to pull away once things got serious. And just like clockwork, the shift came. As soon as whispers started that Shanice wanted something deeper, his behavior changed. Those close to him recognized the signs. This was classic game. Known for his reluctance to commit, he had once again offered a vision of forever, only to abruptly backtrack. That is when the cracks started to show, and everything began to unravel. The beginning, he made her believe they were building something rare, something that stood apart. But when it came time to truly step up, he vanished. And this was not just your average breakup. It was a flat-out ghosting. One day they were together, and the next, it was like Shanice had been erased from his life. No message, no goodbye, no closure, just silence. She was left in shock, heartbroken, and completely blindsided by the sudden turn. Let us be real. The game has pulled stunts like this before. He sweeps a woman off her feet, makes her feel secure, and when she least expects it, he disappears, leaving her to clean up the emotional mess. But what happened with Shanice hit harder. She was not just dealing with heartbreak behind closed doors. The breakup came with public embarrassment. While she was still processing the pain, he was out living his life as if she had never existed. Photos started surfacing. Him out with other women, acting carefree, posting cryptic captions, and flirting online like nothing had happened. Meanwhile, Shanice was left trying to piece together what went wrong. The world was watching, and he made it painfully clear that he had moved on without a backward glance. And then came the moment everyone saw coming. Evelyn Lozada stepping into the ring. There is only so much a mother can take. That post Evelyn made, the one where she threw subtle shade, let us just say it was sharp. The man posting the baby and not posting you, and you posting the man and not posting the baby. That's all I need to know. That was her way of saying everything without saying too much. And the quiet cleanup on her Instagram, that was Evelyn drawing the line. Game over. At this point, Evelyn is more than just a grandmother. She is the one doing the protecting, the defending, and the damage control. If you know Evelyn, you know she does not hold her tongue. She is fierce when it comes to her family. So when she found out how the game had mistreated Shanice, the anger was instant and real. And honestly, can anyone blame her? Getting ghosted is bad enough, but doing it in public with no regard for someone's feelings? That crossed the line. Evelyn made sure the world knew this was not going to slide, and she did not bite her tongue for anyone. The game picked the wrong mother to test. Evelyn made that clear from the moment things went sideways. She did not just whisper behind closed doors. She took action, called him out, and made sure everyone saw through the smooth-talking act he had been pulling. Word on the street is, Evelyn went full-on mama bear and confided in her circle that she had never trusted him. She had a bad feeling from the beginning, but chose not to interfere out of respect for her daughter's autonomy. Still, once it all blew up, Evelyn was done playing nice, and she did not come quietly. Whether through carefully worded posts or not-so-subtle shade, Evelyn made it her mission to reveal the man behind the mask. This was not just about heartbreak anymore. It was about dignity, respect, and the protection of someone she loved deeply. The whole situation echoed the game's pattern. Lure them in with charm, then vanish when things get too real. But Evelyn was not having it. Not this time. Not with her daughter. Now here is where it gets even messier. Some folks close to the situation claim Shanice was not entirely blindsided. She allegedly knew who she was dealing with. They say she saw an opportunity in the game. Someone with status, influence, and money. And while it might have started as a real connection, some believe she was also hoping to level up. In that sense, maybe Shanice was rolling the dice, thinking she could be the one to change him. But this is where opinions split. Was she just unlucky in love, or was she playing her own angle? In the entertainment world, many chase the same dream: fame, success, and a place in the spotlight. Shanice may not have been just a casualty. She might have been a competitor in the same game, only to get outplayed. Still, that does not excuse how he treated her. Ghosting someone, especially in public, is a whole different level of disrespect. And just when it felt like the dust might settle, the game jumped on Instagram with a string of cryptic posts. Not apologies, not clarity, just vague, passive-aggressive statements dripping with ego. He rambled about how he loves his kids deeply, like mini versions of himself walking around in designer shoes, before randomly tossing in that he still wants more children. 2, to be exact, before calling it quits. The timing? Suspicious. After. The initial shock of the breakup and the followers and fans immediately connected the dots. Shanice had recently been in the public eye, navigating the aftermath of her breakup with the game, and the timing of this post couldn't have been more suspicious. It felt like the game was unloading years of pent-up frustration, airing personal grievances for all to see. The jobless comment wasn't just a random insult. It hinted at deeper issues between them, possibly about financial independence or perceived dependence. Was the game accusing Shanice of being a burden or relying too much on him? Or was it simply a bitter shot thrown in the heat of a painful breakup? The online chatter exploded. Some fans sympathized with the game, suggesting he was justified in expressing his feelings after being hurt. Others saw it as immature and petty, accusing him of dragging personal problems into the public sphere and weaponizing social media against his ex. What began as a subtle dig quickly turned into a full-on debate about respect, boundaries, and how celebrities handle private matters in a very public way. But the game was not done yet. Riding the wave of this cryptic jab, he quickly posted another message that stirred even more controversy. This time, his words took aim at a broader group, accusing some women of being superficial and materialistic. "Some ladies only care about cars and comfort," he wrote, once again without naming anyone explicitly but leaving no doubt about the intended meaning. The post seemed to echo common grievances many people voice after failed relationships. The frustration that some partners are more interested in status and material gain than genuine connection. For fans familiar with the game's history and current drama, it was clear that these comments were a direct extension of his bitter feelings toward Shanice. The post painted a picture of a man feeling betrayed and used, convinced that the relationship had been more about lifestyle perks than true love. This narrative struck a chord with many social media users, sparking countless conversations about the motivations behind dating a celebrity. Was Shanice truly after the game's fame and fortune? Did she see him as a ticket to a better life, rather than a genuine partner? The accusations, while indirect, brought these questions front and center. It also opened the door to a wider discussion about the dynamics of dating in the entertainment industry, where the lines between love, ambition, and opportunism often blur. At the same time, critics of the game's posts pointed out how toxic and damaging such public accusations can be. Breaking up is already difficult enough without having every intimate detail speculated on by millions online. They argued that airing grievances on social media only fuels negativity and prolongs the drama, making healing impossible for either party. The conversation shifted from just the breakup to a critique of celebrity culture itself, how social media encourages this cycle of public feuds, sub-tweets, and passive-aggressive posts that generate clicks but hurt real people. Interestingly, these posts from the game weren't just venting frustrations, they seemed strategically crafted to control the narrative. By posting these vague but loaded messages, the game positioned himself as a wronged man, exposing the truth behind the breakup, while casting Shanice in a less favorable light. Whether intentional or not, the effect was clear. Fans and followers were left wondering who was right, who was wrong, and who was playing what role in this complicated story. Meanwhile, Shanice remained mostly silent, choosing to focus on rebuilding her life away from the drama. But the impact of the game's posts could not be ignored. They kept the conversation alive, reminding everyone of the messy breakup and feeding rumors that only added fuel to the fire. The social media battle had officially begun. On the other hand, this public airing of grievances also invited sympathy for Shanice from many who saw her as the one being unfairly dragged through the mud. The idea of being publicly accused of entitlement or opportunism, especially by someone you once trusted, was a harsh blow. Supporters rallied behind her, encouraging her to stay strong and reminding everyone that breakups are complex and rarely one-sided. Beyond the personal drama, the game's posts also revealed a darker side to celebrity breakups in today's digital age. The boundary between public persona and private life is razor thin, and social media has become a battleground where feelings are broadcast and reputations are made or broken in real time. This saga with Shanice was a textbook example of how modern breakups are no longer private affairs, but public spectacles, often with collateral damage far beyond the initial parties involved. What started as a series of cryptic Instagram posts quickly escalated into a full-blown saga that exposed raw emotions, unresolved tensions, and the complicated intersection of love, fame, and social media. The game's digs, about entitled women, chasing material things, and disparaging comments, weren't just petty remarks. They were the echo of heartbreak, betrayal, and an attempt to reclaim control in a story that was rapidly spiraling out of his hands. In the end, these posts became more than just social media drama. They became a mirror reflecting the challenges of relationships under the public eye. For fans watching from the sidelines, it was a cautionary tale about trust, respect, and the dangers of letting personal pain play out on such a visible stage. So here we are. No closure, no accountability, just more noise. Evelyn is cleaning. Up the pieces, Shanice is left to reframe her next move. And the game? He is back online, talking in circles. Classic. Let us be honest. The whole vacation gift situation felt like a strategic performance. The game was not being low-key at all. Whether he meant to or not, he lit a fire under social media, and everyone instantly assumed his gestures were subtle jabs at Shanice. The internet buzzed with reactions. Some fans admired his flashy generosity and praised him for keeping his circle close, while others shook their heads at what they saw as childish antics and emotional immaturity. Seriously though, this man is no teenager. Instead of walking away quietly, he took the petty route, venting on Instagram like a heartbroken high schooler. But here is the twist. Evelyn Lozada was not about to let her daughter be painted as a gold digger in the public eye, especially not by someone like the game. And even though she is known for getting vocal with her critics, this time, Evelyn chose to take the high road. She redirected the spotlight to what really mattered: her family. With grace and intention, she went online not to throw shade, but to celebrate a joyous moment: the birth of her grandson, Blah One Taylor. Her posts were overflowing with love and gratitude, like a soft yet powerful declaration: "My daughter may have been left behind, but over here, we are blessed and thriving." And honestly, that energy was refreshing. Evelyn is no stranger to the entertainment world. She has lived through public heartbreaks and messy exits, so she knows better than anyone that silence can speak volumes. While the game was busy posting cryptic captions and playing emotional games for the world to see, Evelyn's quiet focus on family sent a louder message: this is how you win. The game, for his part, tried to